Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to what is the self-knowledge principle. So I thought this was pretty interesting from Lakhani in Hindu Academy. Self-knowledge principle. I didn't know there was a principle to it, but I know in Advaita Vedanta there is the self-knowledge, obviously. And when I did look up for the thumbnail for this thing, uh, I looked up what is the self-knowledge principle. It's essentially learning how to control essentially your body, your emotions, your thoughts, your everything about you yourself. So I don't know if this is what he's going to talk about or not, but let's go ahead and give this video a shot. It's a short one too.
First of all, human beings like to make sense of the world outside themselves. So they look at the universe, look at the laws that operate here, the wind, the fire. These are all the religions and all the ancient traditions started, trying to make sense of the world that we live in. Without rules that operate in the world outside, how can I harness them for my betterment? So let me do some Havan and please Agni and Indra and Vayu and Varun. And so this is how it started. But then a question arose. This is the beauty beginning of real Hinduism. Until that, Hinduism was materialistic. The Nyaya Vaisheshika philosophy were materialistic. They didn't believe anything more, just atoms and anu and parmanu. And then when we discovered with ancient Kapil this idea of Sankhya Darshan, that there is something more to me than matter. I'm not an output of matter. And I hope Richard Dawkins, looks at this philosophy. We are more than matter. And this is not just belief system, I believe it. Actually, you experience it. You actually see yourself separated from your mind and look, it's real. When you separate yourself from your mind and body and intellect, you suddenly discover, why? I'm something grand and great. Just imagine you're freed from your body, even your intellect, your knowledge. It seems so trivial. You like fluff. You just throw it away.
Real quick. Well, that's the thing. I think some people, especially in the West, or just people in general, really, because there's not. I don't believe there's a lot of people that are following Advaita Vedanta itself. But just to say that you're something separate from your emotion, your thoughts, and your body. Uh, Maybe even just like a part of your brain, which is this is how I think a little bit, I guess. Again, it's not to say that oh yeah, I know I'm absolutely in there. No one has any proof of consciousness, not even scientists. So it's a start to at least say that well, you're not your thoughts and you're not your emotions. It's a good start because you're kind of removing yourself from the body. You're going into the brain and then perhaps a particular part of the brain, not all of the brain. So at the very least, you're obviously, in terms of full Advaita Vedanta, or just Advaita Vedanta itself, you're removing yourself from the body completely. With at least this thought, you can remove a lot of it, and at least it's a good start to perhaps maybe they want to get there. For me, whether it's part of the brain or up there, a Brahmin, then it doesn't matter because I will probably honestly never know. And knowing that, to me, doesn't how to say um, necessarily solve anything. If I'm up there, I'm up there. If I'm down here, I'm down here. Does me knowing that I'm up there, making me knowing that I'm Brahmin, makes my life any easier? No. Whether I'm Brahmin or just this little piece of consciousness, it's the same to me. The reason why I say that is because it's knowing this doesn't really change things. It's something that I guess because it's something that I cannot change even if I wanted to. So at this point, I just say, if it is, it is. That's great. If it isn't, it isn't. That's fine too. And I just leave it be. And I stop worrying about whether I'm enlightened or whether I am Brahmin or whether I'm just this itty bitty consciousness in my brain, you know. So, and I would honestly believe, maybe, I don't know if it's true or not, that that would be part of enlightenment because I do believe your enlightenment means you're not, at least not suffering. It's a path to enlightenment for sure. So, um, and this is the thing that I kind of want to talk about in my members only channel is the fact that everyone's enlightened. Brahman is never unenlightened, so it is always enlightened. Whether you are enlightened or not, you are always enlightened. So that's the thing. That's the reason why I don't worry about whether I am the Brahman consciousness or this little tiny consciousness. It doesn't matter because there's nothing I could do to change it. So why even try to change it? And that's my mentality. That's the reason why in the past I've said that, I believe I'm the consciousness in the brain. I have no proof of it, but it makes the most sense to me. Makes the most logical sense. You see me using quotes a lot because I use it as a sense that it's the best way I can describe it. It's I don't know if it's absolutely true, but again, regardless of whether, like I said, whether it's in the little tiny brain of mine or in the big old existence, doesn't change anything. Let's continue.
And then you discover your true nature, the spirit. This is the beginning of self realization or self knowledge. When we discovered our essential nature as the underpinning to this creation, so we are linked with the whole of this creation, we then have access to the knowledge of the whole creation. That is how we acquired all this marvelous knowledge of Sankhya Darshan and, if you like, ancient ideas of Sankhya and ancient ideas of yoga and Vedanta philosophy, is through self exploration. Our journey was looking inward, and we found the answer to the whole of this creation by looking at the inner structure we possess, the mind that we possess. This mind is not just me; it is, if you like, cosmic mind. Once we get, in knowledge of that, we can understand anything in this world. That is how we learned at such wonderful material coming out of ancient India.
Okay. So yeah, it was very interesting though. At least I guess some of the Indian philosophy does have the materialistic point of view, strictly materialistic. And there's even one I don't know if it's the same or not. Again, there's a lot of different philosophies in India, where it's only believe in what you see and experience. Very harsh, and I talked about it. It's one of my way earlier videos, and I talked about it. How I find it difficult for knowledge to continue in that sense because anything that's written down in books, you're not supposed to believe in it because you have not experienced it, you have not witnessed it. So even though someone has witnessed it and experienced it and written down on a book, if that book is passed to someone else, unless they, the person that received the book, experienced or witnessed it, they can't believe on anything in the book. So knowledge is very, to me, for that one, is very stagnant unless people can experience everything that's written down in the book and new experience. But then you have people who takes a lifetime to experience what's in the book. Then guess what? The person that gets that book is going to take a lifetime to experience those things, and knowledge is kind of halted. I would assume that would be the case for that particular philosophy. Um, because knowledge and information is built up on more and more knowledge and information, and if you have to keep starting over and over and over and over again, there's only so far you can get before you're just stuck at a certain point of that knowledge and can't go any further because you have to experience it yourself or witness it yourself. So, anyways, that's my reaction to what is self-knowledge principle, which was completely different than what I was just talking about at the end there. But again, he did talk about the different philosophies in India, and I kind of wanted to, I don't know, I guess, talk about how the fact that he said about the, I forget which philosophy it was, but it's just a strictly materialistic philosophy. And I do believe what I was talking about was related to that as well. Because I believe they only believe in what they witness. I can't remember. There's not too many of that materialistic philosophy, I believe, in India, or at least from what I've heard. So, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next vid.